What's up, Wilders? I wanted to take a little bit different approach. I'm really not one to try to go and shill Wild or the MEOW, soon to be Z token. I have kind of tried to steer away from that because I don't want to come off as a shiller, as someone that just comes in and gives you some huge price and tells you, go buy Wild, be a part of this, it's going to go to the moon. That's never really been my kind of position. I've wanted to educate, I wanted to share, give you kind of an insight on what I see and what I know and what I believe when it comes to Wilder World, Zero, and the Z chain. But today I kind of wanted to kind of give you my thought of where we're going to end up when it comes to the wild pricing. Because really in the end, wild pricing, we can have the best technology within Wilder World. We can have the greatest metaverse project out there. And really the market is run by the narrative and the the pumponomics of just being able to be pumpable. That's just how things are. In an era of meme coins, we all can see that it just doesn't matter. What people are really looking for is how can they make money? That's the bottom line. And what is the current narrative? Is it AI tokens? Is it the boomer coins? Is it Bitcoin? Because Bitcoin's king, right? Everyone looks at Bitcoin, and if Bitcoin is going to do well, everything else in the market is going to do well. And now with Daddy Donald J Pump, that everyone's calling him, has been in. Now that there's so many groups of individuals that are supporting crypto, and we really feel like we're going to get some regulation that really stands behind. There's the National Reserve in America that can really, with Bitcoin, that could really help out the market. If the US does it, I'm sure we're going to see many other countries come in and start doing the same. We're going to see other companies come to do it. We're going to see new products that utilize Bitcoin. There's just going to be a lot that kind of comes in. And so there's a lot that we can kind of draw on when it comes to that amount of volume and assets coming into the market, and that liquidity that can then be used that hopefully will trickle down into Wilder World. And so I want to just kind of go down the steps of what my thinking is, and when I do my research and when I'm planning out things and reporting back to the Wild Pineapple DAO of what I've learned and what I've seen. I want to just kind of share a little bit of that information. By no means, huge disclaimer, this is not financial advice. This is just pure opinion, pure speculation. I don't recommend that you do anything that I do. You don't have to follow me. I'm sure I'm wrong on many accounts, but I thought I would just kind of answer some of the questions that have come my way when people ask me where I believe the wild token price will be. And so I want to kind of go through my reasoning, and then at the end, I will share kind of what my prediction thought, and it's a range. I'm not going to give you some huge big number, but I'm going to give you a range of what I think, as well as I'll give you a range of where I think the MEOW token, or soon to be Z token, will end up being. And some of the reasons behind it is what we're going to be discussing. So first, we go into the market today. We've been really seeing a lot. We're at a $3.33 trillion market cap within the industry. We see Bitcoin just doesn't really want to break through that $100,000 mark. And now we start to see a lot of the boomer coins kind of going up. The one that I've really seen that has really gone up, that I was a little bit surprised of, that I've been invested in the past, even though I don't really hold a bag. Where did it end up going? It was Stellar. Oh yeah, look right here. I mean, it's gone up 134% this week. Just today, it's gone up 51%. And then you have a lot of others. You got Polkadot that's gone up 28%. You end up having none of the other ones up here look very fantastic. But Stellar has been a big mover, and I thought that was pretty interesting. One that I looked into, I thought was kind of dead. It actually did look dead. It was like at 9 cents, was just bopping around like it was a stable coin. So it was pretty interesting. But obviously the one that we kind of all look at the most is Bitcoin. And today it hasn't really done much, but when you look over the month, it's really taken a upward trajectory, and it's doing really good. And when you look over the last year, 37,000. I remember Here in, I think it was around December, I was talking to one of my friends and I was telling her, she was talking about wanting to invest about $250,000. And I was telling her that, I really think that maybe you should, if you want to diversify. She has her own business, multiple businesses. She has real estate. She has other things. I told her, you should probably look into Bitcoin. I think the bottom's in here at 16,000. And you should be able to buy, get a pretty good entry price. She dragged her feet, and then the market just started to go up from there. I'm not saying that anything I'm saying is great. I don't predict anything. The market may not repeat, but it definitely does rhyme. And so I kind of felt like there was good opportunities. And so we can see that right now we're at 97,000. I feel very confident that probably before the end of the year, we'll make a real breakout through 100,000. There's going to be a lot of conversation around the Thanksgiving dinner table and all those types of things. So there's going to be this conversation. And the reason why I start with this is because we really need to focus in on how well Bitcoin does. The better Bitcoin does, the better that Wild can do, or even MEOW or any other token. And so we see it's doing really well. So, checkbox number 1, Bitcoin doing well. A lot of confidence in, a lot of greed in the market right now. I'm sure there's going to be a retrace soon, which is always healthy for the market too. So we're going to see a retrace at some point, and then we'll continue going up. I have no clue how high. Could it go to 150? Sure. Could it go to 250? Absolutely. But I'm not even going to pretend to predict at where Bitcoin is going, because everything that could get approved and different actions that could happen could really drive that price up when it comes to Bitcoin. So I am just proud of the king and how well he's doing, because that gives us all other types of hope. Moving on, I wanted to kind of talk about Photon, mostly because I really wanted to show how often meme coins are done. This is a Saturday. And this is average of what happens every day. This is actually pretty slow. We're going 7 seconds before another one is created. I typically can be here and they're just popping out one after another, another chill. Wow, there's a huge surprise. And there's so much money going in. I'm proud of Solana. They created a product where people really wanted to come in. They play a little bit of gambling. They go into the casino and they try to see what's going on. We've seen the kids that just go in and they tank on people and they rug pull right in front of them, streaming online, and people just laugh. And then they go in and they make it a $7 million market cap. It's incredible what's happening in here. And money, I played around a little bit. It's extremely dangerous, as far as you can make a lot of money in literally 15 seconds and you can lose money in about 2. And so it is a really hard space to really do well. The people that are winning are the people that are able to market, release a coin like Peanut and make it go to $1.7 billion. I mean, it's insane that something with literally all of these coins are nothing. They're literally nothing. Okay, not every single one. A 0.01 of 1% is doing something. But the vast majority of these coins aren't going to be anything. It's literally people's greed going into it, and they're hoping to be able to just take advantage of taking someone else's bag. And the reason I bring this up is because after a period of time, this is going to get old and people are going to want to go and put their money into something that's maybe a little bit boring, something that they can then just get a safer 5x and be able to take some profits. And so again, I want to kind of show you this trickle down effect that will hopefully eventually get down to Wilder World and be able to get us to like a certain price point. And so meme coins, they're going to be running. They're going to be a huge narrative throughout this bull market. I believe that eventually people are going to get burned enough that it's just not going to happen as much, but it's still going to continue to happen. You're going to see things go from 0 to $1.5 billion and then back down to 0. It's definitely a part of the space. And so it's really important to kind of be aware. I've been trying to learn more about it. My friend Alex in the community has been kind of showing me. I've had some fun. I've gotten into Gonsler. I watched it, 2x and take some profits. I saw it go down and I lose half, but I didn't pull any of my money out. And then I saw it go to 4x and I had a number that I had in mind, and I was like, oh, I'm going to wait for it to go to this number. Guess what? It didn't go to that number. It went down. And so right before I was going to make losses, I took money out, and I basically just rode the roller coaster and just had some fun. So it is the space. It is something to keep our eye on and kind of see how this will kind of play into it. If this is what people are used to, what's it to say that people don't put in, you know, $400 million in a matter of seconds, and we see some of these coins like Wild just spike up to $20 and then back down to $1, or even down to 20 cents again, about where it's at right now. And so we don't know what this like psychology is going to do within our space and what we're really going to see. Again, another reason why I bring this up. I think it's something really important to keep an eye on and to kind of understand the psychology of this and how that's going to play in to the market as time goes on. After Bitcoin and after some of those boomer coins, you know, top 50, top 25 coins that people are really going to invest in, that they feel like they can get an easy 3 to 5x, those are kind of the mid to high caps that people will kind of go into. Some people want to gamble. They want to go further down the list. Some money, I do believe, will fall into NFTs. I know I personally probably am going to be laughed at. Most people think that the NFT narrative is dead. And for the most part, I do believe that it is. But a really interesting narrative is going to be is there's still status symbols in many instances, and there's still NFTs that hold utility. And I think that's where some of the Wilder World NFTs are going to come into play. Here, I just want to kind of show over the last 30 days. So here, I just wanted to show something over the last 30 days where people are kind of putting their money in the NFT market. I'm going to just refresh this page and we're going to kind of see. We have CryptoPunks that are obviously number one. They don't even have any items listed. Most of the items that are listed are the wrapped CryptoPunks that people have, that people can buy tokens into and own a part of the CryptoPunks. You can see that Pudgy Penguins is still doing really well. You got Bored Ape Yacht Clubs that are doing right there. You know, these are still status symbols if you own. You've got Doodles, you've got Mutant Apes. To be honest, I don't even know what Milady Maker is, and maybe that makes me sound really dumb on this channel, but I haven't been paying enough attention to top NFT projects. I've been kind of really focused in on Wilder World and what they're doing. But like Azuki, I know, you know, they're doing a really good job. But something I thought was really interesting is that Wilder World is number 34 with 183 ETH spent on Wilder World land. That's pretty amazing in a space. I think this is something we need to keep an eye on. We're ahead of the other side codas. We're up there with some of the upper echelon of projects. And I think that's something that we should be paying attention to, that when people come and take a look, that if this volume continues over a period of time, that we could really see a lot of money go into Wilder World land, maybe into Wills, into some of the other NFTs, cribs, crafts, and other NFT collections within Wilder World. But I think land will definitely get a lot more attention, especially if resources and the resource economy comes in and people can find some new fun ways in order to play around with an economy and make some money and to build things and to be creative. I think it's something that we shouldn't discount as a possibility. You know, people will kind of go in. I really do think it's going to be more into CryptoPunks as a status symbol. You know, Pudgy Penguins, Bored Ape, Doodles for sure. I think Azuki will see a lot for sure. You know, make sure that when you are listing, list on Wild. If you want the Wild price to go up, list all of your NFTs in Wild on the Wilder World Metaverse Marketplace. But I think we should keep in consideration that if we really want the Wild economy to succeed, we need to do our part to contribute to that success. And part of that is by listing in Wild. So let's go into Wilder World. Here we can see today we've seen some action. We've gone up 14%. It's nothing crazy, but it's actually something really nice. If you were able to buy in on some of these lows over the last 7 days, that's another great entry point. If you go over the month, you see that we did have a nice little uptick when everyone else got a nice uptick when Bitcoin started to move. and we can see that we were able to make it up to about 35 cents. Over the year, our high has been $1. This was something that we saw back in March when everything else was going up, and this is something I want to kind of draw into the possibility of where we believe the wild price is going to end up. I think this indication, and we look back at other projects, we're going to be able to see some action. But we can see that we're at $107 million market cap. Nothing crazy, a lot of opportunity for us, especially if coins like Peanut are going to 1.5 billion. There might be an opportunity for us to be able to have an opportunity when the narrative comes around to gaming and metaverse projects. If we can catch a wave of gaming tokens and the metaverse narrative, I think we'll end up doing a really good job. And so right now, this is kind of where we see our levels at. We're at 35 cents. What's our all-time high? Our all-time high, I believe, was like around $7 and something. Actually, it says $7.60 was our all-time high. And I want to show where I think, because they launched the token in May and we missed that April run-up and the altcoin cycle during that time before the November. This is when we caught the November cycle. And this is like right when crafts were coming out. I remember for 501 wild, I think it was, you bought a craft, and I had to come up with 1 ETH worth of wild in order to get a craft. And so this was during this run up, and so it was pretty crazy at this time. And I think this is a suppressed price. I think we were just so newly out. Not a lot of people had it. Not a lot of people got in during that April run up. And so we'll see in these other tokens how there was that April run up and then an even higher run up. And I'll show you where I think that pricing should be based on this price back here in March and here. This is just something that I'm looking into. I could be completely off, and I'm just, talking about magic space money. But I wanted to talk about 2 of the largest metaverse projects. Ones that sold land and ones that are really our competition, that we really need to cut into their market cap. And we need to draw people from these projects into our projects to really do it. And that's what I really believe the team needs to do. The team really needs to find a way to be able to connect with the people that have been watching these projects and draw them over to a much better project. And that much better project is definitely Wild World. I really do believe that there's going to be better gaming, better games, better community, better social network and economy, and just opportunities that I really think will function really well. And so we can see here that Decentraland has been running up, but we'll just really cut to the chase. We can see back here that Decentraland had a price jump in that April into May where they went to $1.55, right? We missed this like upward tick with Wild, but then it went from a $1.55, so let's say $1.60, up to $5.16. And so you can see that from that first run up to that second run up, you can see that there was about a 5x, more or less. There was about a 5x from there with their lows of 4 cents, right? So basically they go from 4 cents up to $5. That is a 100x. And so they did 100x from 1 year to the next year. So that is pretty incredible. And so that's something that we can take into consideration. But then I wanted to look back here. Okay, they went up in this last run up. They went up to about 75 cents. And 75 cents from their $5 is just a little less than the 10%, right? I think it was about 8x. They did about an 8x at that point from their all-time high to what their like little run-up was back in March of this year of 2024. And so we go and look at Sandbox, right? Sandbox, when we look at the all-time, we can see that they went up to about 78 cents, and then from 78 cents, they went up to $7.50. So about a 10x. Sandbox had a lot of influencers kind of buying in. You had Atari that bought in. You had a lot of narrative around Sandbox, Snoop Dogg, obviously. and different things that were happening at the time. And so you garnered a lot of attention, a lot of people speculating and kind of jumping in. And so they got a 10x in their November hike from their April hike. But they were at 4 cents also. And so they almost had a 200x. They had about 150x from in a 1 year period, which is some incredible gains. And then in this last little March hike up, they were about 75 cents. And so they had a 10x, right? And so there was a 10x kind of difference between their all-time high and this last run back in March, which I think we can kind of just gauge a little bit of the sentiment of the people looking into it and how the movement may be able to make, and kind of take some prediction when it comes to Wild. So if we go back to Wild and we look, we see that Wild went up to, I think it was like $1.12 or let's say $1.10. And then here we went up to what, 760. I really do believe that we should have been about a $12 token if we went through all the cycles as everybody else. I really do believe that. I really do feel like that's where we would have gone with Wild, was to about $10 to $12, around that range. And that's an important indicator to just kind of know what the sentiment might be if again, the narrative, if the money trickles down into these types of tokens, if we can really draw in the attention of people and have a really good narrative where we're fun, we're exciting, we're a great token, that it's a great entry point, that there's all of these things coming in, right? If we can really ride that wave of a narrative of either gaming or the metaverse at the time that narrative is going, we really have to tug on that kind of greed, heartstrings of individuals. And so if we're capable of doing that, then we're going to be capable of really bringing in a type of attention. And then if people are really excited, if we really have a great product, I'm saying if at the time we have a new version of Rebellion that's just rocking, if we have a new version of Midnight and Whammy that's just doing great, if people are actually building and having businesses and having events and different types of things within Whammy, if there's at least a fraction of that happening, then, and that open world where we're going to be able to go around and have different types of these breaches that they're talking about, where we're going to be able to use our avatars and go. And that's another thing, avatars. People are going to be able to create their own profile, go in. There's just going to be a lot of things that are going to really draw people in, or at least have the potential to, that could really help ride that wave of a narrative. But we have to have that narrative, or it just doesn't even matter. If metaverse is never talked about, if gaming is just never talked about, it's just never going to happen. I do believe that because this token was around before, and if we can get some marketing done where it kind of gets out there at least a little bit, if we can at least catch the eye of one or two of these major influencers that really get excited and that can really start to talk about what they love and that they see within Wild World, we could really ride this narrative. And so I want these kind of price points to kind of be taken into consideration of where I think we'll end up being. I want to continue to talk about some of the other things that we should take into consideration. But I wanted to go in and I wanted to talk about some of the things that could really drive some attention to the Wild token specifically when it comes to the products that the team is working on. And the first one is the mainland. Starting at the end of the year, or possibly at the beginning of next year, but it'll be within a short period of time, we're going to start the mainland auction, which is going to be this mainland source, basically where the circle is and some of these things around where the mountain is. It's going to be 40,000 plots that are going to be released. Now, what's going to end up being auctioned off is 36,000 of these. So what they're going to do with the other 4,000, I don't know if that's part of the DAO, and it's just going to be part of the mainland DAO or the land DAO, or if that's going to go out to partners or some way to market. I'm not exactly sure what that's going to end up being, but the mainland will be 100 plots of land auctioned off every day for 360 days, starting at the end of this year or possibly the beginning of next. And what's going to end up happening is that first 100 is completely blind. And so what I believe is going to end up, a very important notion to be able to talk about, all of it is sold in Wild. So all of the auctions will be done in wild. So it could drive some interest in the purchase of the wild token in order to get this land. And so in the beginning, you're going to have individuals that are really, that first 100 is going to be purely speculation as far as location and where they think maybe they'll be able to get a really good resource profile. Then when those 100 are released and the auctions are run and they are transferred to the winning bidders' wallets, what's going to end up happening is you're going to end up seeing a resource profile, a heat map, and we're going to gather a bunch of information from that, which then will then add to another layer of that speculation of, well, if I, auction or put a bid in to these plots of land around these ones that have been found, because they can see that there's a huge resource profile or this is a great location or whatever it might be. Every time there's a new day where new resources are then, resource profiles are released, it just opens up the map to more speculation and more options for individuals to kind of see where they want to buy these plots of land. And so I'll be honest, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if at the beginning, I believe at the beginning there's just going to be a lot of people that are going to be trying to get certain locations, like maybe like this center map area, this ring, or maybe they really want something along the mountains because they feel like it's going to be more resource rich. Whatever it might be, there's going to be some crazy types of bidding happening in the beginning, and I'm really interested on where these bids go, what kind of draw to the wild token this will bring. But if the team can create a great product when it comes to the resources, to the refining, to crafting, to building, and really starting to jumpstart this wild economy, as well as having some really fun game modes, this could be something that could drive a narrative and really like kind of push that wild token price up. And so that was something that I wanted to talk about. Mainland is going to be resource rich. Resources are going to be on a bonding curve. You're going to be able to sell to the Z-Bank and you're going to be able to garnish some wild back for those resources that you end up mining. But you're going to need a mining rig. You're going to need a plot of land to be able to mine on. We don't know how long this is going to take. So on the mainland, you're going to have 100 million wild locked into the land that's on the mainland as well as the island. This is a really important point because that's 100 million wild, 20% of the supply that's locked away. That isn't even going to be really coming into the market, at least I don't think, or at least not a huge portion of it. But you are going to be able to mine when you're going to be able to, sell those resources, be able to extract that wild. A lot of that is unknown, but you do have to understand that out of that 100 million wild, you're going to have all year long that you're going to selling off those auctions. And so all of that's going to come play later. We don't know how long it's going to take to mine resources. We don't understand some of these details. So is it an indicator where this is really good because it's going to be locked away for a good period of time? Does it mean it's another funnel where people are going to just be extracting and dumping onto the market? And so you're going to have really cheap resources, but a lot of wild that then goes on to the marketplace. I don't really know. But that takes us to this next point with the Odyssey, which is $5 million worth of wild going to keepers, which are holders of NFTs. There's a pool for them. And then there's also another pool for those that are participating in the different events and basically some of the social farming and helping people become more aware of what Wilder World is, connecting us with other type of communities, and really trying to get ourselves out there and to get attention. There's going to be $5 million worth of wild purchased at some point that's going to be ended up distributed. Now, I have a feeling it's not necessarily going to be purchased off the market. It's probably going to be something that comes from the foundation. When this is going to happen, we really don't know. Are they going to wait until April with that first hike? Will it be maybe November of 2025 when the prices are skyrocketing? We don't really know. We don't know when the team is going to do it. People have been earning shards and participating in these, but eventually that $5 million worth of wild is going to get distributed. That could put a lot of pressure on the wild token price, which you have to take into consideration of what that's going to end up being. And so we just need to keep that in mind. I wanted to make sure I brought that up. Another thing is people have been earning wild by playing Midnight in Miami, which is the racing game within Wilder World, part of the Wilder World Alpha on Epic Games. You can go to Epic Games, go search Wilder World and download it for free. Right now they have earning on hold because they were going through testing and they did their period of testing. And now they're going to take that information to be able to make sure that the earning of these rewards is at a good level where people are still interested. But they also want to create these other kind of wild sinks where people are going to be able to take that wild, and there's going to be these opportunities to be able to sink it into, you know, upgrading your wheels, buying fuel, buying NOS, buying different types of things within the game to be able to then, you know, move further along within that like Wilder World economy. Will a lot of people play and then just extract it? Yeah. And so that's why I bring it up. That there's going to be these opportunities for people to be able to extract it. When all of this is coming into play, I don't know how much that is. I'm not really sure at this point either. But they're really trying to create a product where people can just play, have fun, earn a digital currency that has real value attached to the real world, and then be able to sell it and improve their lives, or to be able to just dump it back into the Wild World economy and use it to do other things within the project with other types of products and enjoy kind of entertainment and life and creativity and building within a new metaverse platform in a way that is appeasing to people. The biggest thing is to bring in daily active users. We need a lot of daily active users. And so hopefully this bull market really garnishes a lot of information, a lot of interest, a lot of people to come take a look. And then hopefully the games are just incredible, where people just have a really good time playing, that they're just really happy to be able to get a token that's doing really well during this bull cycle, as well as having a good time playing the game. I think all of these things need to come in. You have to have a great product, first and foremost, to have this be a long-term success. Obviously, during this bull market, it's all going to be pushed by narrative, speculation. And so there's a lot of KOLs out there that have a lot of power to be able to really push a narrative because you got a lot of followers. You got like 1.4 million followers following you, and you're able to do it. The reality is you just have to make sure that you're prepared for when that narrative comes. When that gaming narrative comes, you want to be an excellent game. When that metaverse narrative comes, you want to be the best metaverse project in the space. And that's what I truly believe Wilder World is. I really truly believe that Rebellion can be an incredible game. I really truly believe that Midnight in Miami will be one of the best simulation game, simulating sim racing games out there on the market. We just have to kind of be able to get the most out of this bull cycle so that the team can keep working, keep improving, keep building, keep doing it, so that the next bull cycle, it's even better and even better until we detach from all of that and we just have a great product. It's a great company. It's a great gaming studio. It's a great social networking platform. It's a great messaging platform and zero ID to keep you safe. And there's just so many products that are going to be coming down the line that can draw people in for different reasons, but kind of connect us in a common interest of these really awesome products and technologies and innovations that Wilder World and their team are coming out with. So I wanted to bring that up because I think it's really important for everyone to know this is another way that could flood the market with wild. Just want to kind of bring all the things. I want to really make sure I'm giving an honest assessment of where I believe the price is. I'm giving you the information, and then with that information, you should be able to make the decisions that you want to make. Another thing that's going to be really important is this liquidity farming. When they did the triple supercharge in that November of 2025, people are going to start unlocking from that triple rewards. And so that's something to take into consideration when it comes to price prediction and what may happen around that time and how it might suppress some of that price. You've got other individuals that have been farming for a really long time and they're holding on to their wild bags and they're waiting for a good time when they want to take profits. I know people that have been holding for a long time that are diamond hands that aren't going to be selling everything. They're going to be holding on to a good portion of their bags because they know what's coming within Wilder World. They're going to want to participate in the other products and opportunities that are going to be found within Wilder World. And they're going to have this opportunity to be able to benefit from that by holding on to the wild that they have. Obviously, price will go up, price will go down, and there's always going to be a great entry point depending on what has happened and where people kind of push that token price to. But liquidity farming is definitely something you want to take a look at. This is Trinitizer. This is a great website by my good friend FC, who's put a lot of time and effort in this for the Wilder World community. This is a great product. I recommend that if you have any Trinities, if you are in liquidity farming or otherwise just want to kind of better understand the information going on, because you can put your wallet in, and even if you don't have it, you can look at some of the information that they have here so you kind of know what's coming in so that you can better plan on when you might want to sell, when unlocks might be happening. You can be keeping an eye on the contract and seeing when things come unlocked. So liquidity farming is definitely something that people are keeping an eye on that could have a huge impact on where the price goes and what the top prices might be. A lot of these people might end up selling at $1, $2 at a lower price. And then you're going to have a lot more people that are going to, eat that up pretty quickly. But then you might have other people that hold on until higher amounts wherever they think that the price is going to go. And other people might ride the wave. They may think that it's going to be going here, there, another place, and it ends up not going there. And they take the full roller coaster ride up and down. We don't know really what people are going to do. We don't know the decisions. There's just a narrative. Typically in these times, there's a lot of greed, a lot of people holding on. But I'm really interested in how the meme cycle plays into how quickly people buy, sell, drop. I don't even know. I don't even know what to expect. I kind of just have to create a strategy and follow that strategy and keep my emotions out of it and just be happy with where it went and not fear that, like, oh my gosh, if I would have held my entire bag and it went to $30 and I sold the entire bag at $30, I could have made, $2 million. Whatever it might be, it's too hard to ride that emotion. You've got to just create a strategy and a plan. Play it safe. Take into consideration what liquidity farming might do, what staking might do to the price action when people are claiming and then possibly dumping it onto the market. And another major milestone that we could see from Wilder World in 2025 is being listed on multiple exchange listings. We could see it on Coinbase, Binance, or some other type of listing, but those will absolutely help bring in the liquidity and skyrocket the price to levels we've never seen before. All right, the time that everyone's been waiting for, me giving my price prediction, taking all of these things into consideration. Where do I believe the price action could go based on all these things and based on what I'm seeing? I believe that we can easily get to $12. That would be reaching the all-time high here. I think with the possibility of some suppression with tokens coming out and people selling, maybe that will go to $10. Now, that's kind of where my minimum is. Do I believe that we can go to $20? I think $20 is best case scenario in my mind. A lot of people think they could go to $50. And you know what? If I'm wrong on that, that's fine. Come back, screenshot this, play this recording. All you wilders, do whatever you want. Tease me because the price went to $50. Guess what? I'll be laughing all the way to the bank, just like the rest of you. I really do believe that. Is it possible to go to $50? Is it possible to 12x your previous all-time high? Absolutely. Absolutely. Is it plausible? I don't think so. Is it possible? Yes, it's possible. Crazy things can happen. The trickle-down effect from all of this money coming into Bitcoin, people taking profits, them gaining other profits as they trickle down from Bitcoin to ETH to altcoins to small caps, it definitely can happen. I'm kind of looking at the $10 to $20 range. Somewhere in there is where I really do believe that's going. I know that's a big range. There's a huge narrative that could go in gaming and metaverse, and that could really push up the price. The United States could buy a ton of Bitcoin that drives the price, and people going in. New products could be coming out that are utilizing Bitcoin that could really drive the price up. There could be more institutions coming in and really pushing up the price and building a reserve within their companies. There is a lot of things that could be done to really push the narrative up, right? Wilder World could come out with one of the most amazing products. They could have an off-the-grid moment where they release this product, where they bring in millions of individuals that end up trying out the game. Twitch is streaming Wilder World. There's all of this talk about Wilder World and the games and the different products that they have. And then that just then further drives the narrative of the Wild token that could send it up to $50. It's all possible. I believe in Wilder World. I believe that Wilder World will end up being the best metaverse project out there. They will have an Apple moment where they're going to be able to utilize all of these products, and that Wilder World will own all of the tools and all of the procedural generative assets that they have to help other people build their worlds and build their technology and the different things that they're going to be doing, where then you can have people filming within Wyoming, filming within their own worlds that they create. And a new form of medium comes from that. New form of content creation comes from that. There are so many things that can come from Wilder World, and the Wilders have an opportunity to build alongside the team, to create businesses, to create social networking, to create opportunity for themselves, for their brand, for the future that they see within Wilder World. It gets me super excited. I can't wait. I'm here for the ride. I hope you've really enjoyed this. I hope you are excited about what's coming. I'm interested. Please, in the comments below, please put your price prediction of where you think Wild is going to go. Tell me what you think are the greatest narratives. Tell me something that you feel like maybe I missed that may increase the price or push the price down. I'm definitely curious in what your opinions are. I would love to hear it. I just truly believe that the team is going to do what is needed. They are setting themselves up for success. They're setting themselves up in order to prepare themselves with an additional $100 million in runway where they can really push a great game, really push multiple great games, multiple open world experiences, and really start to draw in people to create and build within Wilder World, as well as their own worlds, their own galaxies, and their own universes in the years to come. So if you feel like you're excited for this, if you believe in Wilder World, you believe in the Wild token, please like, share, subscribe, do whatever you need to do in order to help support what my efforts are in getting the word out there so that your bags increase, as well as get the word out to get people into a real project that they can really believe in, that they can really get the tools to be able to build something, create something that is exciting and enjoyable, better than some stupid meme coin that goes from 0 to 100 back to 0. How about creating something that can last within a digital world for eternity? That is something that is cool. That is something to get behind. That's somewhere that you can really put your funds into if you truly believe in the future of a digital simulation metaverse. Because let me tell you, do you think that Zuckerberg has stopped over at Meta? No. Do you think that Apple is going to stop with Apple Vision? No. There's going to be amazing opportunities to be able to meld our product with the products of other people to really bring new customers, new clients, new users, such an incredible experience. So if you agree with me, if you're as excited as I am, please, again, subscribe, like, share, comment below, and really help get the word out. Love you guys. Appreciate you all.